Alright, welcome to Uruguay. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you're probably in my Culture of Americas class. But if not, I hope you enjoy, and I'm glad you're coming on with me on this journey through the history of Uruguay. Uruguay is the home of Montevideo. Montevideo is one of the most well-known capitals in South America. Uruguay resides in the tropical zone of the world. This is the region that wraps around the equator of the world. Around this region is usually warm to hot weather, and this correlates along with the climate of Uruguay, which is consistently warm with rare occurrences of cool to cold climate. The full name of Uruguay is the Oriental Republic of Uruguay. This has been the name of this nation since its independence. The population of Uruguay is approximately 3.3 million people. As a nation that isn't too overpopulated, this may correlate to their fair success in economy. The area that Uruguay covers is 68,036 square miles. And this area um, travels along the east coast of Argentina as well as the southern coast of Brazil. Uruguay is also bordered by the Atlantic Ocean. Alright, let's get into things. The first aspect of Uruguay and its society that we will cover is the food. Ooh, let's try that. Food. Alright, typical meals for Uruguayan cuisine is asado. Asado is the most popular dish within the country. Asado is more known as barbecue, where you can take any type of meat, any cut of meat, place it on a grill, and fix it up to your likings, however many spices you would like. Next we have chivito. Chivito is a traditional Uruguayan sandwich with sliced steak, ham, cheese, eggs, and mayonnaise. Some chivitos also come with bacon. Next we have the choripan. Choripan is grilled chorizo, better known as a gourmet sausage, wedged inside a small baguette-style bread. Chorizo is also eaten prior to asado. Next we have the empanada. This is a very well-known dish across South America. An empanada is a type of pie or turnover with beef or cheese inside. Next we have the faina. This is a thin chickpea flour bread, often served with fugaza or pizza by the meter, or better known in Uruguay as pizza por metro. We also have the pancho and noquis. The noquis is a pasta known as nochi. This is a more traditional dish to the Uruguayan people. Uruguay is one of the countries known for their amazing bakeries and famous pastries. The typical desserts for Uruguay are alfajores, which is two shortbread cookies that are filled with dulce de leche and also covered in chocolate. This can be parallel to chocolate covered Oreos that we have here. We also have bizcochos. Bizcochos is a pastry that can come in many sizes. Many can be sweet, but they can also be savory. Bizcochos are usually served during breakfast. Pastries for breakfast sounds good to me. Chaja, or chaja, sorry for the mispronunciation, is a sponge cake covered in whipped cream with crushed meringue on top. Sometimes there are slices of peaches added, or many other fruits if you would like. Finally, we have the damasquitos. This is an apricot jelly candy. Sounds pretty good to me. The national Uruguayan drink is the grapa miel, which is alcohol and honey mixed in together. That's it for the food. Now we move on to the spoken languages. Similar to many other colonized countries, Uruguay's official language is that of their colonizers. The official language is Spanish. Another version of Spanish spoken in Uruguay is the Uruguayan Castellan. This is a mixture of Spanish with Italian dialect brought on from their Italian migrants over the years. Spanish is learned and taken on by 99% of Uruguayan citizens that still reside in Uruguay or take it abroad. The dialects spoken by the natives of Uruguay include Chana and Charrua. The natives of Uruguay are known as the Charrua or Charruan Amerindians. Unfortunately, these indigenous people are said to have been extinct, and if not, they are close to being eradicated from the Uruguayan population. These individuals were forced out of southern Brazil and eastern Argentina and were forced to migrate and settle into the Uruguayan area. And unfortunately, they have been removed from there as well. Additional languages that are spoken in Uruguay include Portuñol, which is another combination of Spanish, but this time with Portuguese that comes from the Brazilian impact and effect on Uruguayan society. There also is English. Moving on. Music is a big part of Uruguay society, similar to the rest of the world. The popular genres in Uruguay include folk music, which can be, and the subtopics of folk are Uruguayan tango and condombe. These forms of music include heavy drums as well as various instrumentation along with it. And as many of you may know, these are also forms of dances that have broken off due to this. Next, we have pop music. The subtopics of this pop are canto, cumbia, and Uruguayan rock, as well as many others. Uruguay also is known for their classic music and the various composers that have come out of this region. The famous artists that have come out of Uruguay include Carlos Gardel, Francisco Canaro, Julio Sosa, Gerardo Matos Rodriguez, Astor Piazzolla, Horacio Ferrer, Bajofondo, Daniel Vigiletti, Jamie Roos, and VM. VM is one of the most popular bands that have come out of Uruguay. Next up, we have family relations. Similar to the rest of the world and all of us who participate in the international society that is alive and well in this present day, the majority of Uruguayans believe in monogamy, with the exception of a very select few. This includes some indigenous tribes within the population that are open to polygamy as well as many brides and partners. The ideal present day Uruguayan family type consists of extended family in which you have your nuclear relatives, but also you reach out to your extended relatives, uncles, aunts, grandparents, and you collectively live with them as well. With that, now we move on to religion. About 51% of The Uruguayan population is Christian. Breaking that down, there's about 47% that are Roman Catholic and 11% of the population that is Protestant. Moving on to the next religious subcategory, about 30% of the population believe in a God but aren't tied to a church. Next up, we have 14% who are agnostic, 0.6% who are Umbandist, 0.4% who are Jews, and about 0.2% of the Uruguayan population are Muslim. Finally, we have the types of government and the economy that have built Uruguay into what they are today. Now, for the government, the Oriental Republic of Uruguay is a presidential representative democratic republic. This entails that the president is both head of the state and head of federal government. This is different to what Americans in various other countries may be used to, seeing as the president has power over both the federal and national government, but also deals a lot of his attention into the intricacies of the state and local governments as well. This can be this correlates along with my last point, which states that the president exercises executive power. The government within Uruguay is also a multi-form party system. Now onto the economy of Uruguay. Uruguay is categorized as an export-oriented agricultural sector. The currency that is used by Uruguay is the Uruguayan peso. This currency isn't as powerful as other currencies, but seeing as Uruguay is a great power economically, this works for them. A main export goods of Uruguay include beef, soybeans, rice, wheat, wool, and wood. Export partners for Uruguay are Brazil, China, Argentina, as well as other more minimal partners. And that's going to be it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Uruguay and the various facts. Have a wonderful day, night, or whatever time you may have.